What if the air all around us, the stuff we breathe every single day, could power our homes, fuel our cars, and completely replace fossil fuels? Electricity as we know it, and even gas. Isn't possible, don't you think? But trust me, in this video, I'm gonna explain how this absurd idea can be really possible, even in reality. Before getting into the main tech, we have to understand what air actually is. It's not just one thing. It's a mixture of gases, about 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, a sprinkle of carbon dioxide, and some water vapor thrown in for good measure. As we know, it's everywhere on Earth. It's free, and unlike coal or oil, it's never going to run out, unless Earth is destroyed. So how do we turn this invisible resource into a powerhouse? The secret lies in harnessing its physical properties, things like pressure, temperature, and movement, and combining them with some seriously cutting-edge technology. By harnessing this energy, we can create compressed air energy storage, or CEs. Say that 5 times fast. To put it simply, it goes something like you take regular air, pump it into a compressor like the ones mechanics use for tools, and squeeze it down until it's super pressurized. Then, you store it in massive underground tanks or even natural caverns like old salt mines. When you need energy, you release that air, and it rushes out to spin a turbine, generating electricity. It's like a giant eco-friendly battery, but instead of lithium or acid, it's just air. By the way, you know companies like HydroStore in Canada are already building CAS systems that store surplus energy from renewables, like wind farms or solar panels. When the wind dies down or the sun sets, the compressed air takes over. Their project in Goderic, Ontario, can power thousands of homes without burning a single lump of coal. And the best part is this whole process produces zero emissions. It's clean, it's efficient, and it's scalable. Researchers are even looking at smaller systems for individual buildings, one that you can use as an energy tank to run everything in your household. Let me try showing you how it works. Check out this balloon. When I pump it up, the air inside gets compressed, storing energy. Let it go, and that energy turns into motion. Key is the same idea, just way bigger and powering entire cities. Pretty cool, right? Now, let's kick things up a notch with liquid air energy storage, or LEES. This is where it starts feeling like we're living in the future. Instead of just compressing air, we take it to the extreme, cooling it down to minus 195 degrees Celsius. Well, that's so cold that the air turns into a liquid. You store it in super insulated tanks, and when you need power, you let it warm up. As it expands back into a gas, bam! It drives a turbine to generate electricity. A UK company called Highview Power is leading the charge here. They've built pilot plants that can store energy for hours or even days, making it a game changer for balancing the power grid. Imagine it's winter, demand is spiking, and instead of firing up a gas plant, we're just warming up some liquid air. Their latest project in northern England is set to power over 200,000 homes during peak times. What's amazing is that this tech doesn't rely on rare earth metals or toxic chemicals like some battery systems do. It's just air, cooled down and heated back up with clever engineering. As to why it's so promising and cool is because it's sustainable and uses equipment we already know how to make, like the stuff in refrigeration or industrial gas industries. If a question arises about whether LEES replace traditional electricity storage and cut our reliance on fossil fuels or not, I'd say it's got a real shot. Okay, so now we know air can store energy for the grid, but what about fueling our vehicles? You think it would be all electric? Well, you're not wrong. That's what all people think. But it could possibly be replaced by hydrogen-powered vehicles or engines that are more powerful than our current ones. But it uses air as fuel instead of gasoline. In other words, a car that could run on compressed air instead of gasoline or diesel. No burning fuel, no smoky exhaust, just air expanding to push pistons or spin a motor. Doesn't it seem like an environmentalist's dream come true? This idea goes back to the early 2000s when French engineer Guy Negre created the air car with his company, MDI. The design was brilliantly simple. You fill a tank with compressed air at a station, think of it like a gas pump, but cleaner, and that air powers the engine. His prototype could hit speeds of 70 miles per hour and travel over 100 miles on a single tank. Zero emissions, lightweight, and refueling was dirt cheap. Fast forward to today, companies like Zero Pollution Motors are refining the concept, while researchers explore hybrid systems that combine air with electric power, though it's not that hyped and well-funded project. Now, if you think for a moment, air-powered cars aren't everywhere yet. Its range is limited, and we'd need a whole network of air stations. Still, the potential is huge. Think about it. You would pull up to a station, fill your tank in minutes with compressed air, and drive off with no carbon footprint. And it's not just cars either. Think about all kinds of other vehicles that release so much smoke out of its exhaust. This could be the fossil fuel replacement we've been waiting for. But in the end, there aren't many people talking about air energy harnessing. CIES and LAS need big infrastructure investments. Air engines need better range and refueling networks, and high-altitude wind tech is still experimental. Fossil fuels took decades to dominate, and renewables like solar and wind faced skepticism too. So, it will also take a lot of time, maybe many decades. But surely someone will definitely develop this technology so that it can be used in daily life. So, there you have it. Air isn't just what we breathe. It's a potential energy that almost every single human is overlooking. What do you think? Could air be the fuel of the future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, keep exploring, and I'll see you in the future.